Today, we are kicking off our Financial Fitness Week, brought to you by the Western Financial Group. And we're starting things off with a conversation about how to assess your own financial fitness. Joining us this morning is personal finance expert and author Jessica Moorhouse. Good morning to you, Jessica.
Good morning.
Okay, so we have to talk about this thing first off. How's your emergency fund doing? Is this the question that one must ask oneself right off the top here?
Yeah, that's where I kind of start. That's the foundation that everyone should have when it comes to their finances. If you don't have that emergency fund, then what are you going to do when emergency happens? And as we all know, when you think everything is going well, that's when something happens unexpectedly. Your car breaks down, your pet gets sick, you maybe lose your job or your hours are cut. Something is always going to happen. So the thing that you need to do is prepare for whatever that is. And the kind of principle is to have 3 to 6 months of your living expenses in cash in a high interest savings account saved. Don't touch it. But quite honestly, most people do not have an emergency fund because they, have other priorities, or they think that, oh, well, isn't this more important? Isn't this more important? I start with all of my financial counseling clients. This is the number one thing everyone should make their number one priority. Have that fully funded emergency fund before tackling on any other kind of goal you have.
And Jessica, this is something that people may find hard to face, but you need to look at your debt situation, right?
Yes, you do. I think that's a very uncomfortable thing for most people to really address. And I get it. There's a lot of emotions wrapped up into it. There's a lot of, things like shame or embarrassment or just anxiety on like, oh, I didn't even realize it was that bad. A lot of people would rather not know, stick their head in the sand. Completely understand those feelings. However, the only way that you can move forward, so you don't always have to be in that situation, is to tackle it head on. Take a look at, okay, what are all the different debts that I owe? What are the different interest rates? What are the different balances? And then see what is the best repayment strategy for me if you don't already have one. There's kind of two big popular ones, the debt avalanche, the debt snowball. Do you either want to start paying off aggressively the one with the highest interest first, or do you want to tackle the smallest balance? That's the debt snowball method. I've always found that to be the most popular one with clients because you kind of get that win a little bit sooner, and then once that's off, then you can go to the second smallest balance and so on. So take a look at everything, organize it, and see what is the right path for me so I can become a debt-free sooner.
And then you need to look at your cash flow. What's that about?
So that just means taking a look at money coming in, money going out. So, most of us are very aware of the money coming in. We know what our paycheck is, or we know, what we typically make in a month or every 2 weeks. However, most of us don't actually do the, again, uncomfortable part of taking a look at, what are we spending? I think it's a great practice for everyone to track their spending every single month. I do this. I've been doing this for over 8 years with my husband. It is not exactly our favorite thing to do, but it is really important because we know exactly, okay, we spent a little bit too much on, eating out, or, oh, what was this expense? Oh, I thought I canceled that subscription. Well, I guess I didn't. So now I know because that's in my spending. So it just gives you clarity on where is your money going so you can make better choices. And also, if you don't want to look at it like, what did I do wrong? Take a look at it as, does this spending align with my personal values? Most of the time we're like, no, it doesn't. I shouldn't be spending that much on takeout coffee or, hanging out with, friends at this expensive restaurant. I actually have other goals that now I can't meet because I'm doing that. Let me realign my spending for next month with my goal, with my values.
Okay, Jessica, we only have a couple seconds left. What is your net worth? How do you decide, or how do you determine that?
So this is kind of a health check for your finances. Where are you at with your money? What are your assets, your liabilities? So how much do you have? How much do you owe? We want to see our net worth grow every month because that will mean that we are making progress, paying down our debt, saving money, investing money, and just, being in a better financial position. So this is, again, something I do every single month. Take a good check of what's in my bank accounts, my investment accounts, what kind of debts do I owe, and see where we're at. And hopefully it's going up. If not, then we need to look back at our spending to see what we can change.
Financial Fitness Week with Jessica Moorhouse. Thank you very much for all this great information. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You can pick up a copy of Jessica's book, Everything But Money, anywhere books are sold, or at Jessica's website, jessicamoorhouse.com.
Financial Fitness Week on CTV Morning Live, proudly presented by Western Financial Group.